I mean, I shouldn't necessarily have to crank up the warp speed for this, but I'm kind of forced to. Just to get to the title screen. Well, technically, this is the title screen, but it's also just a loader. The real title screen is just simply select your game, and there you go. Okay, we are moving at 1,840% speed, and we still have yet to hit a selection screen. Ah, there we go. Oh, and of course, the damn thing would crash. Okay, not really, but close enough. Now, mind you, this is the demo that's moving along. Notice that there wasn't any points gathered when he collected the little item hanging there from whatever the hell that was. Original hardware. This game was, in fact, as Captain Lagbeer puts it, put it on, start up, go take a shit, then come back to play. Sometimes add dinner to the mix. Now, one interesting thing about this game that I think needs to come back in a big way. I would love to see a feature that's in this game brought back, which is two-player competitive. And you've seen something like this in Perfect Dark, have you not? Which is, it goes under the name Counter-Operative, where you play the role of one of the enemies in the game trying to kill the player. Okay, in the case of Bruce Lee, see that green fucker down there? His name is the Green Yamo, by the way. He is the only player who could be controlled with the second pad, or second joystick, if you were using original hardware. The Green Yamo, I'm not exactly sure what significance he was to Bruce Lee, but he much like Bruce Lee, he can do flying kicks. He can chase after Bruce, and he can kill Bruce Lee by kicking him and punching him to death. Not sure if he can jump. I do know he's got his own little taunt where he goes, where it looks like he's yawning. You'll see in a couple seconds. Or at least he would have if I hadn't kicked him off the platform. Also, it kind of feels like I'm punching with boxing gloves. Pull up your dukes. When I was growing up, I kept thinking this was an underwater cavern of some kind. I'm still at a loss as to what exactly I was climbing on just now. But I do know that the computer AI is kind of stubborn in the way it chases after the player. It will only follow you if you are on level ground with the player. And in another cruel twist to this part of the game, notice that thing has stopped and now it's going downward. Which now makes it impossible to get up to chase after me. I hated this part here. You really have to make a leap of faith here, because you never know when that little thing is going to cross the bottom of that screen and try to kill you. The second player, if he wanted to, could troll the player by making them attempt to cross that exploding fire pit or whatever that thing was, and then push him back in just as the fire was dying down, causing the player to die. I know my brother did that to me all the time. Now, I do have to say, I think this game was only hard because back in the day, not all of us had the crackerjack reflexes of a ninja squirrel. Of course, now that we've grown up on games like Mario, Contra, Kid Icarus, and the like, now this just comes second nature. I just died there. Yes, that was another way across. Just simply run. In terms of gameplay, though, this is pretty solid. I have yet to come across a single bug in this game. For the close to 30 years that I've been playing this. Well, minus the years that I didn't have a Commodore at my beck and call. Hey, remember that spot? I kept thinking something bad was about to go down because the mammoth was, is that a mammoth or a yak? Whatever that thing is, it's going apeshit. But in all actuality, it just means that this part here is now open. Of course, once you exit this screen, the whole graphic design changes. The supposed lanterns don't even look like lanterns anymore, and the fire traps don't even look like fire traps. Hello, Langming. Is it Lamg? I can never pronounce that right. I'll just call you Lamb. And Rising 7, hello, how's it going? Kind of rare that we're now suddenly in a hub. Whee! I can be a troll too. Much like the green Yamo, the ninja, no matter what, simply cannot jump. Also, the ninja cannot be controlled by the second player, which is kind of sad. Now, when I was little, this next screen made me pull my hair out. I mean, this is probably your first major challenge of the entire game, just trying to get past this room. Of course, the next major challenge is coming up, and when I was little, I could only pass this room once. And it's pretty clear to see why. You can see traps all over the place. Of course, one thing was always constant. Those things flying across the screen would never approach from the left of those gray bars. I'm not quite sure, though, what the symbolism of the flashing green is, though. Almost looked like fluorescent lighting to me. No clue what that was. Probably some sort of final boss or something. When I first finished the game, I thought that was fire, and I was never able to understand why I was so happy to see nothing but fire. Then I eventually read up on the manual, and it turned out that was like some sort of ancient treasure, and that was the whole point of the game. So technically, we've already finished the game, but I'm going to see how far I can get in terms of high scores. Because that's what most of the games were all about, just getting a high score. It didn't really matter if you supposedly beat the game. Oh, pardon me. I'm not sure if it got any harder the second time around. Although that would have added some sort of replay value. Where'd everybody go? Something is weird with that with Hex Chat. It just looks at the it looks at the Twitch chat, and for some reason it decides that people have left the room even though they probably haven't. And I think part of the reason is because the Twitch chat is not your ordinary IRC chat. Run, run, run! You have to get it right the first time. This is the old age of either you get it right the first time or you have to let yourself get killed just to start again. That kind of threw me off. But anyway, that was Bruce Lee for the Commodore 64.